appear to be doing fine on the outside. But are they really okay? We tend to see what's obvious to the eyes. Just because someone is able to function properly in life does not mean that they're perfectly fine. They could be suffering silently all by themselves from a mental illness and we might not even know. That is why I believe mental health is not always transparent. By the end of my speech today, I want you to understand why is there a need for more awareness about mental health and how can you educate yourself about mental health and what you can do to help. Let me start with the growing problem regarding mental health. When people tend to hear about the word mental health, they tend to think about a person on the extreme end of a mental health situation, such as when a person is completely out of control and is hitting everyone in their sight. However, what people don't realize is that the vast majority of individuals who suffer from a mental health issue do not often show or even look like they are suffering from one, especially just from a single glance. While looking deeper into the issue, I came across a blog developed by a facility called Promise Behavioral Health. And this facility focuses its time on providing mental health treatments for all, and it states, despite the stigma around the term mental health, it impacts people of all ways of life and is far more pervasive than most people ever realize. We might not notice this, but mental health is more common than we tend to think. It is something that can affect anyone and at any time, and that is why I believe it is important that we do not take this matter lightly. It is something that needs immediate attention despite how common it is, because without awareness, it can become this worse or even life-threatening consequences. According to the results of an online survey, a 2020 online survey by JED Foundation, an organization established with a mission to prevent young adults from suffering from the same fate as young Jed did from committing suicide, found that 56% of the 200 college students surveyed are significantly concerned with their ability to care for their mental health. Following along, according to Center for Disease Control and Prevention, stated that 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness each year. Poor mental health is something that often goes hand in hand with other health and behavioral risks, such as low energy level, loss of concentration, lack of optimization, and anxiety and depression. Even though there is a problem, there is definitely a solution. It is by becoming more educated upon science and resources about mental health that this problem can be turned around. According to a blog by a mental health counselor who devotes her time to help and make awareness about mental health, Bisma Answard explains that with more mental health awareness, it can make signs and symptoms of it become more known and destigmatize the idea of mental health, in which can help with the likelihood of those in need to be able to receive help. Just learning how to identify signs and resources related to mental health can help you and those around you. Even though this might seem like a simple or even small action, it does has its impacts. And the reason I say this is because when I was doing a project in high school regarding a suicide prevention training, many of the students under my guidance found that many of the things that they learned, such as how to identify signs or even symptoms of suicide, helped them. And they wish that they had known it sooner and that they can definitely see it helping them in the future. As you can see, mental health awareness is important. Here is how you can help. Just by taking a small moment of your time and paying attention to those around you and even talking with them can make a big difference. Ask a friend, family, or even a co-worker about how they're doing and actually really listen to what they have to say. And if you notice any indications that they are giving where they're stressed out or even under the weather, let them know that there are resources out there and that you are there for them. Every conversation you have about the importance of recognizing mental health and seeking help creates an effect that reaches people all around you and far beyond. Personally, there are many times where I have become very stressed and anxious to the point where I become very sleep deprived as well as very moody every day. However, it was thanks to my friend who was always there to listen to me, especially during my rants, without any judgment, that allowed me to relieve myself from all my worries and guide me to resources to help me with my issues. He made me understand that there were others out there to help me, and that if I keep things by myself, it was never healthy. As you can see, there is a serious lack of awareness about mental health, and you can help. Today, I have told you about the need for more awareness about mental health, how easy it is to solve this problem, and what you can do to help. Mental health is not always apparent. What we see on the outside about a person is not everything about them. Only by spending time to understand can we identify the truth behind this barrier that we tend to create.